Okay, so this is the axle housing for the Ford Commander 6000, and today I'm going to be breaking it down. I'm going to be tearing out the innards, the insides, and see if there's any damage in there. I want to take a look at the wet brake disc and go from there. Hope there's not too many damage. Hope there are not too many damages in there. Right here you see, if you can see, I'm not sure, there is a C-clamp, a huge C-clamp right there. You got a little space right there. So I guess it's old technology. They've never made these with little holes in here where you can actually put needle nose pliers. Well, I prefer to call it a bird beak pliers, where you can actually put the needle nose bird beak pliers in there in these holes and squeeze it, and to get that pin out properly, easily. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my drill, and I'm going to make two little drill holes, drill two little holes right in there, so I can put my bird beak pliers in there and squeeze it together to easily get this pin out. So let me get at it, and I'll show you when it's out. That's me boring the holes in that pin, that C-clamp. Okay, so now I've bored those holes. I'm not sure if you can see them. There's one there and one there. So now my bird beak or needle nose pliers can easily go in there and squeeze, see? Squeeze the spin together. Now it'll be easier to actually come out. So I'm going to remove this and go from there. Okay, here we go. I got it out, and so you can see it a little bit clearer. Those are the two holes right there that I bore using my drill to bore into the spin. That's how huge it is. So it was in there. On the side, my next step would be to remove this right here. This part right here, I should be able to just actually pry out. Still got to be careful not damaging anything. So we'll be able to just pull right out. So I'm going to attempt that now. So I'm actually using my claw hammer to help me to get this. So I was able to use just my regular bare hands to pull it out a little bit, and then it got stuck. Because you got to get it out evenly, and it's not very easy getting it out evenly. So I'm using my claw hammer to actually put it on the inside and just help prying it out. See? Prying it out little by little. Eventually it will come out. Remember, I'm doing this with one hand, so it ain't easy. Okay, it's ready to go. Okay, here she comes. So now it's out. Put it over there. And now we have this pressure plate. I don't know well, I do know the names, I just don't remember them because I do have the manual. But this actually comes out after. And over there. Okay, and now we have this part right here. I think all these parts are able to actually pull out just like that part just now. It might need a little bit help to actually pry them out, but it's basically simple. This right here should be able to come out like that, which is the axle. Get this in back. So hard to do this with one hand, guys. Okay, so take this part out. Okay, here it comes. Here comes the axle shaft. Beautiful. Along with the wet brake. So then this part right here was just before the axle shaft. So I have a manual. It actually shows how to take them out. And the sequence they actually go in and come back. Well, the sequence to put them back in and to take them out. So I got so much clutter around here. So this is the axle shaft. Splines look good, and this is the wet brake. So that's the wet brake, and I'm surprised the wet brake, actually the brake disc, looks brand new. It still looks real good, and I'm so happy for that. You know, they still got the grooves, still has the grooves here on both sides. So I'm so happy I don't have to try to rebuild this. So this is in a good condition. I'll put it over here. And the splines, oh yeah, the splines of the axle shaft, yeah, it's in good condition. Wow, for a 58-year-old tractor, 57, 58-year-old tractor, yeah, it looks good. Oh wow, yeah, I think I'm in trouble now. Here is something that shouldn't be. I think I spoke too soon, guys. This right here is broken. Don't know what it is, but I'm gonna have to refer to my manual to see what it is. But you can see it's broken right here. So this I would be able to replace. It looks like just a washer. I'm sure I'll be able to find a washer this size. It has grooves in it. I'm not sure if it makes a difference. I'm sure it does, but I'm gonna have to source this. It shouldn't be too hard to find, or even to make something similar to this. So this is the first damage, if you can call it a damage, that I found so far within the axle housing. Put that boy over there. Now it's to get this part out, which is basically the same. I think still gonna have to. Oh, there's a nut right here, and there's a bolt underneath. So I'm gonna have to unbolt that bolt to get this nut out. So this will actually be able to pull out, because if you see, it has a backing right here. So this nut and bolt is actually holding this plate in. And a matter of fact, you know what? This is actually the rotor. That's the rotor that the wet brake disc butts upon. So just looking at the disc is in good condition. And looking at the rotor, there's no splines, no markings. It's just smooth. So far that looks so good. It's just for this little part that seems to be broken. All right, let me see. All right, these the teat for these. This is actually the sun gear. Well, no, this is the planetary gear. And the planetary gear, these sprockets, they look good. No damage on them. I'm gonna look at it a little bit more keenly. But this right here, I don't think I have to actually take this out, because I don't need to resurface this. It's actually smooth. So I'm just gonna clean it up and start reassembling and everything else back in there after I repair this. Because this seems like it was actually right upon my axle shaft fell in the dirt. I'm gonna have to clean it up. But yeah, it actually came off. Sorry for the strain off my camera. So this actually came off here, right here, and it's broken. So it was a washer between the axle shaft and right in there. You can see that hole. So remember again, guy, I'm a novice. I'm a novice at working on a tractor, and I'm a novice at making videos. So just bear with me. I'm just trying to do this because, as I said, there's not a lot of videos on Ford Commander 6000s or Ford 6000s on YouTube. So I said, you know, if I'm gonna tackle this, might as well I make a video. I wish the video was better if I had someone to actually hold the camera, and if I knew more about what I'm talking about, would be better. But I'm still gonna I'm still making this video, just, you know, if it will be some kind of help to anybody else who has a tractor like this. So if this was coiled up, if the rotor was coiled up, I would actually remove this bolt right here and then pry the rotor out, remove this bolt and nut, so I could pry the rotor out so I could actually resurface it. But I'm not going to attempt that because it's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. It's real smooth. You can see, real smooth. So that's fine. I'm not going to go farther in because the gears, sprocket, they look okay. So that seems all right. So all in all, apart from this little washer here being broken, everything else seems okay. I'm still so amazed that this wet brake disc, man, it's intact. If you can see the grooves on both sides, it's almost like brand new. I'm so grateful for that. So that's a plus. All right, guys. So I'm gonna clean this up, and I'm gonna try to get a washer this size. Hopefully I can find one with the same grooves right here. I'm gonna refer to my manual, my repair manual, and see if there's a part number for this, and try to source it. And if there's not, or if it's not being made anymore, then I'm just gonna have to make one myself. It shouldn't be too hard. Okay, guys. So this right here, the axle shaft, is actually the sun gear, and the sprockets around it is actually the planetary gear. So the sun gear goes into the planetary gear, and when it turns, when it revolves, the planetary gear revolves around the sun gear. Makes sense. I'm such a novice. Hope that helped you out a bit. So that's where we are right here. Okay, it feels good. No grits, real smooth. Oh, and just for you guys and gals who would need to go farther into the axle housing and remove the rotor, as I mentioned before, there is a nut and a bolt right here, so you'd have to actually remove this bolt. And if you look around here, this nut, if you look around here, that's the bolt right there that bolts up into the axle housing and goes through this nut. So it'll be very easy to take apart. Nut and bolt, you unbolt that bolt, unscrew that bolt, take the nut out. I couldn't find the exact washer that broke, so I made this one, and I hope it actually works. Okay, so there we go. Right, so they actually don't manufacture or make this washer anymore. They have similar ones, but not the same size. So what I had to do was I had to actually get a washer that's the same size and has the same bore on the inside, and actually make the washer myself. Now if you look, let me see, actually show, it's like, yeah, so that's it right there. So the grooves are actually lined up. I made sure that they are, and so it will actually work properly. Well, let's hope it does. I'll find out unfortunately, when I assemble everything back together to see if it actually works. So I'm actually trying to get it where, okay, I think this is how it is. Like so. Okay, so we turn it over. Just want to prove that the grooves line up. There you go. So the grooves line up. Okay, so I'm gonna start assembling it now, and it's just reverse. It's just a reverse how you actually took it out. And when I'm done, I'll show you the finish, how it looks when I'm done.